You are freezing, bone-chilling, teeth-chattering cold. It is 1779, and you are in Brienne, France. You check your Apple Watch. You glance at the sun, trying to figure out the time. You are 9 years old, a kid from Corsica, surrounded by French aristocrats who look at you like you just crawled out of a sewer. They laugh at your accent. They mock your clothes. You try to order an Uber. No. Wait. You just sit alone in the mud, dreaming of artillery. Blood. You can already smell it. Not your blood, of course. Theirs. And you are tired of being the punchline. Fast forward. The French Revolution explodes. Heads are rolling. Literally. The guillotine is the new TikTok trend. The new public entertainment. Everyone is losing their minds and their necks. But you are calculating, observing. You are a lieutenant now. Artillery, the big guns. You get a WhatsApp message. Sorry, a sealed dispatch. It is 1793. Toulon. The Royalists have handed the city to the British. Treason. The Republic is bleeding. Desperate. They need a miracle. They need you. You arrive at the siege. It is a disaster. The commanders are absolute donkeys, trying to fight a war with zero strategy. You pull out your iPad to show them a PowerPoint. Wait, no. You unroll a massive dirt-stained map on a wooden barrel. You point a filthy finger at a specific fort. Fort Mulgrave. Take this, you say, your voice cold, precise. And the British fleet will have to retreat. They laugh at you. A 24-year-old nobody. But you do not care. You know you are right. The rain is relentless. Mud up to your knees. The smell of wet wool, gunpowder, and rotting horses. It makes your stomach turn. But you push forward. You set up the cannons yourself, calculating angles, trajectories. Mathematics is your weapon. December 17th. The assault begins. In the dead of night. Rain pouring, winds howling. You draw your lightsaber. Your sword. You lead the charge. Yes, you. The artillery commander, running through the mud like a madman. Musket balls tearing through the air. The deafening roar of cannons. Flesh tearing. Men screaming for their mothers. A British soldier thrusts a bayonet right into your thigh. Pain. Blinding, searing pain. You want to call an ambulance. Maybe pop some ibuprofen. But all you get is a dirty rag and a command to keep moving. You bleed. But you do not stop. You breach the walls. Hand-to-hand combat. Visceral. Savage. You watch a man's skull get crushed by a musket butt. Blood splatters across your face. Warm. Metallic. The fort is yours. Just as you predicted. You turn the cannons toward the harbor. Toward the British fleet. Checkmate. The British panic. They board their ships. They flee. Leaving Toulon burning in the night. You stand. Bleeding. Exhausted. Looking at the flames reflecting in the dark water. You check your Instagram notifications.
Give it a rest, narrator. I'm dead tired.
No, you just listen to the silence of victory. They make you a brigadier general at 24. From a bullied kid in Corsica to the savior of Toulon. But this is barely the tutorial level. The real game is just beginning. Paris is waiting. Paris is a meat grinder. You walk through the streets, 1795. The government is terrified. A royalist mob is marching on the National Convention. 30,000 angry citizens, armed, dangerous. The politicians are packing their designer suitcases. Sorry, their wooden trunks. Ready to run. They call you. Again. Save us, Bonaparte. You have a few thousand men against 30,000. Most people would panic. Most people would quit the game. But You smile. Cold, ruthless smile. You order your men to fetch the cannons, not for the walls, for the streets. Right in the middle of Paris, the mob approaches, screaming, chanting. They think you will hesitate. They think you will not fire on French citizens. They do not know you. You wait, patient, letting them get closer, closer. You can see their angry faces, smell their cheap wine and unwashed body. You raise your hand. You don't press a button on a drone remote. You drop your hand. Fire. Grape shot. A storm of lead. Tearing through flesh and bone. The street turns red. Screams. Panic. A whiff of grape shot, you call it. The mob breaks. The government is saved. And you? You just secured the command of the Army of Italy. You pack your bags, leaving the stench of Paris behind, heading toward the Alps. Italy, where your army awaits. An army of starving, barefoot beggars. They haven't been paid in months. They look at you, this short, pale, scrawny general, and they laugh. They think you are a joke. You pull out your microphone to do a stand-up set. No. You stand before them, cold wind biting your face. You look them in the eye. Soldiers, you say, you are naked and badly fed. I will lead you into the most fertile plains in the world. Rich provinces, great cities will be in your power. There you will find honor, glory, and riches. You don't offer them HR complaints or wellness retreats. You offer them blood and loot. They stop laughing. They listen. The hunger in their eyes matches yours. You point toward the mountains, toward destiny, the Alps. Jagged teeth of rock tearing into the sky. You march, faster than anyone thought possible. You didn't order an Uber XL for your troops. You forced them to walk, 30 miles a day, boots disintegrating, feet bleeding onto the freezing snow. Italy is a playground. The Austrian generals are old, slow. They fight by the old rules. They expect you to set up camp, send a polite email. Wait, no. Send a formal wax-sealed declaration. Instead, you hit them hard, from the flank, from the rear. Lodi, Arcole, Rivoli, names that will be etched in blood. At Arcole, the bridge is a death trap. Austrian cannons swing wooden planks. Your men hesitate, they drop like flies. Flesh ripped apart by iron grape shot. You don't pull out your drone controller to scout the area. You grab a flag. You, the commanding general, you charge onto the bridge yourself. Are you insane? Probably. But your men follow. Because insanity is contagious. You crush the Austrians. You loot Italy blind. Masterpieces. Gold. Shipping it all back to Paris like a massive Amazon return. No. In heavily guarded, creaking wagons. You are a hero. But Paris is getting claustrophobic. The politicians are looking at you. Nervous? You are too popular. Too powerful. You need a new project.
Don't start, narrator.
A new tech startup. A new military conquest. Egypt, 1798. You convince the government it's a brilliant idea. Cut off the British trade route to India. Bring scientists. Discover ancient secrets. You arrive in Alexandria, and the reality hits you. Literally. The heat is a physical blow. 110 degrees. No air conditioning in your armored convoy? Sorry. No shade for your sweating, miserable, dying horses. Just sand. Endless, blinding, choking sand. And thirst. Men go mad. They shoot themselves in the head just to escape the blistering sun. Dysentery turns their bowels to liquid. The smell of unwashed bodies and diarrhea. It coats the back of your throat. But you push on. Cairo, the Battle of the Pyramids, through your digital binoculars. Wait, your brass telescope. You see them, the Mamluks, and the most feared cavalry in the Middle East. curved swords gleaming in the sun. "Soldiers!" you shout, pointing to the ancient monuments. From the summit of yonder pyramids, 40 centuries look down upon you. Not exactly a viral TikTok soundbite, but it works. You form your infantry into massive hollow squares. Cannons at the corners. The Mamluks charge. A wave of screaming men and flashing steel. They crash against your squares, and they break. Musket fire shreds them. Horses scream, tumbling over each other. Bone snaps. Blood turns the desert sand into a thick, red mud. You win. You take Cairo. Your men even find the Rosetta Stone. No need for the Google Translate app anymore. You literally unearth the physical update patch for ancient languages. But then, disaster. Horatio Nelson, the British admiral. He finds your fleet parked at Aboukir Bay, and he annihilates it. Boom. Your ships are burning splinters. You are trapped in the desert, surrounded by enemies. The plague hits your army. Bubonic plague, men rotting alive, black, oozing sores erupting on their skin. You visit the hospitals. You touch the sick. No hazmat suit, no hand sanitizer, just raw, terrifying grit. But the campaign is doomed. So, what do? Do you stay and die honorably with your men? Please. You slip away in the dead of night. August 1799. You board a small frigate, leaving your army behind to rot in the sand. A total PR disaster? Not if you write the official narrative. You arrive in France. The government is collapsing. Hyperinflation, riots. The Directory is an absolute joke. France is begging for a strong man, whilst they are practically swiping right on your Tinder profile. I mean, they are printing breathless pamphlets in your honor. November 9th, 18 Brumaire. You walk into the Council of 500 to take over. Peacefully, of course. Just a friendly corporate restructuring. No, it goes horribly wrong. They scream at you. Outlaw, dictator. They rush you, grabbing your collar, tearing your clothes. You freeze. The great general, panicking in a room full of shouting lawyers. Your brother Lucian saves you. He calls the soldiers waiting outside, bayonets lowered. The politicians scramble out the windows, literally, jumping into the bushes in their fancy robes. The dust settles. The blood on your scratched face is wiped away. The Republic is dead, and you are the first consul, the absolute ruler of France, at 30 years old. But a crown is heavy, and the rest of Europe, they are loading their weapons. You don't just wait for them to fire, you strike first. 1804, Notre Dame Cathedral. You are not just a consul anymore. You are upgrading your subscription tier to premium. No, you are becoming emperor. The Pope is there. Flown in first class. Wait, dragged across the Alps in a carriage just to bless you. He holds the golden crown. But you don't let an old man in a robe grant you power. You take it, right out of his hands. You turn your back to him, and you place it on your own head. Boom. God didn't give you this. Your artillery did. The empires of Europe panic. They form coalitions. Russia, Austria. They think they can corner you. 1805, Austerlitz. Freezing fog clinging to the hills. You don't check your GPS for their troop movements. You read the terrain. You bait them. You deliberately make your right flank look weak. And they bite. They leave the high ground. The Pratzen Heights. You smile. A predator watching a trap snap shut. One sharp blow, you whisper, and the war is over. You send your hidden troops up the heights. You shatter their center. The enemy panics. They retreat across frozen lakes. You order the cannons to fire, not at the men, at the ice. Crack. thousands of soldiers plunge into the freezing black water. Screaming, lungs filling with icy mud, horses thrashing, dragging men into the abyss, a masterpiece of slaughter. Europe is yours. You are rearranging borders like a stressful game of Tetris. I mean, redrawing the map of the world. Kings are your puppets. Your brothers are placed on thrones. You are untouchable, but you are addicted. The dopamine hit of absolute conquest. You look east, Russia, 1812. Tsar Alexander left you on red. Sorry, he broke the continental blockade. You assemble the Grande Armée, 600,000 men, the largest military machine in human history. You march into Russia, but they don't fight. They retreat, and they burn everything behind them. Scorched earth. You reach Moscow. You expect the keys to the city. Instead, you get flames. The city burns for days. No food, no shelter. Just ashes blowing in the wind. You have to turn back. And then, the Russian winter arrives. Minus 30 degrees. You didn't pack your North Face puffer jackets. You have men in rags. The cold is not just a temperature. It is a physical entity tearing at your bones. Men freeze mid-step. They fall asleep in the snow and never wake up. Soldiers slice open the bellies of dying horses, just to crawl inside the hollow, bloody carcasses for warmth. No respawn point here, just white, endless, silent death. You lose 500,000 men, starving, frostbitten, rotting on the side of the road. The myth of your invincibility, shattered. The sharks smell blood. They gang up. They force you out. Exile to Elba. But you don't just quietly retire and start a podcast. You escape. 100 days of returned glory until Waterloo, 1815. The mud, the torrential rain. Wellington is dug in. The Prussians are coming. You delay the cannon fire because the ground is too wet. A fatal error. The battle is a meat grinder. Flesh pounded into the Belgian dirt. You send in the Imperial Guard, your veterans, the immortals, through the smoke. You watch them break. La Garde recule. The panic spreads. It is over. Your empire crashes harder than a crypto portfolio in a bear market. I mean, it crumbles into absolute dust. They don't execute you. That would make you a martyr. They ship you to St. Helena, a miserable, damp, volcanic rock in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. No Wi-Fi, no armies, just British guards watching your every single breath. Rats crawl in the walls of your rotting manor. You, the man who conquered Europe, now arguing with a petty governor over the budget for firewood. Your stomach burns. Agony. Cancer? Poison? Does it even matter? You vomit black bile. Your skin turns a sickly, translucent yellow. You are shrinking, fading into the damp sheets. You hallucinate. You hear the cannons one last time. France, the army, head of the army, Josephine. Your last words. The guns are finally silent. May 5th, 1821. The breathing stops. In the end, a quill, a drop of ink, and all that you were became history. You were Napoleon Bonaparte.